Hey there guys, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Speedrun The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. In the last episode, we took out the third dungeon, and in this episode, we will be heading off to the fourth and doing a good amount of, side quest, 100%-y stuff. Obviously, we have to talk to the owl. There's not much to be done about that. Here, we want to come over here. And actually what we want to do is, avoid the Octoroks. My goodness. Sometimes they can just do that. Just troll you like that, and there's not much to be done. So there we got our fifth secret seashell. Up here, what we want to do is, let's see here. There's not really a great equip for this coming cave, so I guess I usually just do this. Because we want to equip the bomb arrows soon anyway. So here we want to come through here. You can usually beat that guy, sometimes it just doesn't happen. So change back to bombs, do that, and then back to boots. So here we get another piece of heart, which is good. Save and quit out of the cave, that saves a good bit of time. And we're on our way. So here is actually the reason why we didn't get the start the trading quest. This actually is the next step in the trading side quest. They just assume because you enter the third dungeon, the game kind of assumes that you had to have gotten the stick, because in order to get the golden leaves, to get the key to open the third dungeon, you have to have the stick. So, they just kind of give you the stick even though you never really had it. And now we have actually officially started the trading side quest. Even though we never actually got anything from it. Now here is one of the reasons it's important. It's important that we have 5 seashells right now, because this is actually the seashell house. And I think it's at it's like 5 and 15, or maybe it's 5, 10, and 15. At a certain number of shells, you will get another secret seashell. So, that's nice. So that was our 6th secret seashell. This is our 7th. This is, like I said, lots of, side questy stuff. So, try to avoid these guys as best you can. Sometimes it's just not gonna happen. Alright, so then under here we get our 8th secret seashell, and now we are finally on our way to leave the area. Now what I like to do here is I like to kind of wall clip in here by being a little too high up, because that way you can avoid that shark. He doesn't he will never hurt you. This guy, you have to be really careful. Sometimes he'll just shock you. My goodness, I am just bonking all over the place today. So, next stop is going to be here, next part of the trading side quest. Alright. So, what he's saying is he basically wants the honeycomb in exchange for the pineapple. Here, if you just hit B, you'll skip most of his text. So, that's what you want to do. Now, we are heading over to actually... within the story, I mean, we want to go get Marin, because there is a walrus that is asleep, actually, and the only thing that will wake it up, I guess, is Marin singing. But first, we need to go kind of, I don't even know, just go to sleep and have a really weird dream, I guess. So in here, you've got to be very careful. These guys will kill you really hard. They do 3 hearts of damage each, so you very much want to avoid them. Thankfully... Oh, whoops. Forgot about that. That's a Guardian Acorn. It's pretty much useless in this run. So here we got the Ocarina for our troubles, and now we want to leave. Okay. So next stop, we're getting another piece of heart. It's actually one that in the old route we would have already gotten, but we skipped it just for minor optimization purposes. So what we want to do here is we want to get that fish that's on the top, because there's no way to avoid catching him. And then what we want to do next is we want to get the fish over all the way on the right, because he gives you, I think it's something like 20 rupees and a piece of heart. So we want to get his interest and then catch him. There we go. And now make sure you're paying attention. Say, no, I don't want to play again. Yeah, so there's another piece of heart. Next things next, we want to go into the library, kind of like we did with Madame Meow Meow's house earlier in the game. We want a more convenient spot to save and quit for later on, because it ends up Marin is actually on the beach, so that's a place we want to go. Alright, and here we have some of the longer cutscenes in the game. Nice lengthy cutscene where Marin just talks about how she wants to be a seagull so she can fly away. Here, I guess, is a good spot to talk about text in this game. As you can see, there's a little arrow in the lower right-hand corner. And if you time it out just right, as I'm not really doing, you can actually avoid the arrow showing up altogether. And that saves like a frame or something like that. It saves pretty much no time. Make sure you hit yes here, or else you'll have to listen to her talk all over again. Now you can just save and quit as soon as that happens, and Marin's with you, and we're at the library. So switch to your feather, don't get stuck on that guy, and head to the right, because we have more side quests. One of which being another secret seashell. Save and quit from that, and now we're back at the library again. And now we have another place to get going to, which is over here for yet another picture. Like I said, this is a very, very talk, cutscene, side quest heavy segment of the game. But as a result, it's one of my favorites, because it's interesting. You kind of get to flesh out the world a little bit more and do more stuff. Okay, so there's that. Next, we want to come up here for my favorite picture in the game. Which, make sure you don't move when you fall down this. Make sure you let Marin fall on top of you, and Monsieur Rat, he will get a picture for you. Which I'm really sad they don't actually show that picture in the game, because it is absolutely hilarious. I love that picture. And now one more picture. We're just here with Marin, and suddenly, oh look, it's Terran. You should be a raccoon, shouldn't you? Yeah, I think you should be. Go back to being a raccoon. Stop booting in on my picture. Okay. And with that out of the way, we are done with Mabe Village, I think. No, not permanently. There is one more thing we have to do in Mabe Village. Later, though. Different episode. So here, this is the portal we activated near the 4th dungeon. That will be very useful very soon. And so now we want to go to the walrus. The reason we actually got the grab Marin in the first place. Also, I think I actually said something a little bit false in the first episode, or I think it was, what, 2 episodes ago? I said that Ralph's picture is the only permanently missable thing. Actually, I believe anything that has to do with Marin, like the 3 pictures that you can take with Marin, I think those are also permanently missable if you don't get them in this segment. So be sure to remember these. Okay, and coming up here, we actually have a very interesting fight. It's one that will very much show off how broken wall clipping can be. So if you wall clip into here, wall clip into, or that wasn't wall clipped, wall clip into here, you can just shoot 2 arrows into the hitbox of the boss, and you will literally, the boss will never even spawn because of that. So that's a really neat thing with wall clipping. I always have a tendency to put on my feather instead of my bracelet here, but you definitely want bracelet. So, okay. Next things next, we have another secret seashell. Oh, this guy, sometimes he gets in the way, sometimes he doesn't. It just happens. There's not much to be done. And down here, yet one more seashell. So I believe that's actually the last seashell we're gonna get in this segment, so yay, no more seashells. But we do have another heart piece and trading side quest first. But before that, we get to talk to Mr. Owl, once again telling us how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. So next we want to head up here and grab out bomb arrows, and now we want the feather equipped, because feather is quite useful in this because it allows us to kind of sequence break this a little bit. What you're supposed to do is use a bomb arrow and then hook shot over there, but if you do a really well-timed Pegasus jump, kind of unlike the first 2 attempts, but you get the picture. So if you do that, you can just get this heart piece and never have to come back to this area ever again. Which is good for some, bad for others, I guess. It depends on whether you liked the area in the first place. Alright, and here we want to put our bracelet back on. Grab these 2 bushes. Man, so much bonking happening. And here we have yet another really long cutscene involving Marin. We are going to learn our first ocarina song, because we get to play along with her. Because magically we know how to play the ocarina, and we also know exactly how to harmonize with her. Alright, there we go. Now, whatever you do, do not select that option. You have to listen to the whole song again. I did that once in a speedrun. It was not a fun time. Okay. So that's that. We now have our first ocarina song, which we will use a grand total of 2 times, I think, in the entire game. Alright, so now we get to see the reason why it was extremely useful earlier to activate that portal near the 4th dungeon, because we just got a key to the 4th dungeon, and we will now use it. So that's a thing that we are grateful for. We have unlocked the 4th dungeon, and now we want to head there. Although a little bit first, we need to do one last side quest thing. Okay. First, we need to go through this cave. I try to sync up that equip screen with the music as well as I can, because why not? If it's faster, that's better, but... Alright, so here we have like an interesting little trick that I'm actually not going to be able to get. It's kind of a weird trick. Basically, if you set yourself up just right, here you can jump right over this thing. But within context, it can be kind of hard to do because you have to set yourself up quite well for it. You have to be pretty close to the top here and stuff. So if you don't think you're going to get it, just don't bother. Just charge up a Pegasus Boots jump here, or Pegasus Boots, and just do that, because it's not worth the few extra seconds. It really doesn't save that much time. So up here, last stop of the episode, we are going to be grabbing the hibiscus, I think this is. I believe we are... Yeah, we are exchanging the pineapple for the hibiscus, which I have never understood how that's supposed to represent a flower. Like, the actual sprite that was right here, I have no clue how that was supposed to represent a flower, but it apparently did. So, then our next stop, we want to come over here, drop down the middle, and we're at the entrance to the 4th dungeon. My goodness, that is a long episode because that is a long segment. But anyway, yeah, that about does it for this episode of Let's Speedrun Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. So until next time, thank you everybody so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.